Hello, it's Big Bang Bot, and today I will be doing a late reaction video. And I saw MikeyAngryBirds' reaction video on my GEX review. Now, a bit of history on GEX. GEX was supposed to be the mascot for Crystal Dynamics, and they made him because, well, they wanted a mascot. I guess to compete with, like, Mario and stuff like that. And Sonic. Because that's what most mascots were aiming for. And the game was released on multiple systems. It was first released on the 3DO on November 16th, 1994 in North America, and I'm guessing 1995 in Europe and Japan. It doesn't say on normal Wikipedia. It might say on GEX Wiki, but I'm too lazy to research. And the PS1 version came out on December 13th, 1995 in North America, April 1996 in Europe, and March 8th, 1996 in Japan. As for the Sega Saturn version, it came out on March 29th, 1996 in Japan, and sometime in 1996 in North America and Europe. As for the Windows version, it came out on November 7th, 1996 in North America, and sometime in 1997 in Europe. And as for the reviews, they were mixed to mostly positive. So, yeah. This is definitely not a good position for me because, as the time I'm recording this, I've also got my Super Smash Bros. Review up, and he's reacted to that, and my review on the 3DS Smash Bros. Is uploading while I'm recording this, and by the time this is uploaded, he has probably, made his reaction video. So, yeah, that phone sound was not my phone. But anyway, enough talking. I'm just gonna start this late reaction video once I turn this speaker up. Now, I'm gonna do this. He decided to play random Battle for Bikini Bottom music in the background because, why not, I guess. But if people want to do these things, they can do these things. If people want to marry, like, a roller coaster or something like that, then they can do that if they want. If Glider13Vids wants to play a bunch of Nintendo games, even though he probably knows that he's going to probably hate them, then he can do that if he wants, even though he probably shouldn't. And yeah, that's a lesson I've learned. If you want to do something, even if it's incredibly stupid, just do it. People may complain, but if that's what you want to do, then just do it. Nobody can stop you. Just do it. And I'm wondering if he has actually seen my Battle for Bikini Bottom Let's Play. I know he saw a couple of parts, but not all of it. And I'm hoping to see some clips from that in Best Big Robot 10, even though he probably won't do that because, it'll probably be flooded with scenes from my two Smash Bros. Reviews, and yeah, he'll probably cheat, so that's something.
Okay, I will do another reaction video.
A reaction video by me? You're the one making the reaction video, not me. Well, I'm making this one, but hey, whatever. Also in the description he said, it's GEX the Gecko Manic! I think a more appropriate thing to say, which I actually said in my re-upload of the review, which was actually the whole review, the way I intended it to be, I put what GEX says, which is, it's tail time! You should just put it's tail time in the description. And then he says, or Reno, the spin-tail gecko in Japan. No, he does, before, he said Japan. But he corrected Japan. But Japan's supposed to have a capital J, Nouns are supposed to have capital J's. No, just the first letter is supposed to be capital on all nouns. Or most nouns. So the names of places and people. Instead, if it's a YouTube name, then you can get away with it. Thankfully for you, it's not German, where every noun has a capital letter at the beginning. That was weird. But anyway, it's tail time!
Or does GEX for PlayStation 1 and PC?
He forgot to mention the Panasonic 3DO and Sega Saturn. I'm sad.
Clear seated in the room. Top 3 games ever made next to the first 3 games. You got 3
What?
by Crystal Dynamics in one of the most GEX, PlayStation 1 and PC. Clear seated in one of the most top 3 games ever made.
I think he said GEX is one of the most awesome games ever made. I think, after hearing it the second time. But I don't even think that hardcore GEX fans would say that, and I doubt that he's ever played it. He's got no proof. He's probably not going to tell me in the comments if he's played it or not. But I'm just going to assume that he hasn't. And he's probably fallen asleep by now, and he's not going to answer this question, which really annoys me. And if you're still awake, please answer all of my questions. Now, let me take you on a little trip. Now, the reason why I made these response reaction videos thingies is because of the Rayman. Because when you made your first one, back at sometime in the beginning of the year, you made your reaction video on my Rayman Legends review. And you were quite confused, and I believe you had quite a few questions also. And guess what? I was listening carefully, and I answered all of those questions. Because you were confused at times, and I had to be nice to you. And I did it. And that was back when you didn't even name these videos. And, and just look at all of these comments. I needed to correct him on so many things, so that's what I did. I did that, and that's why I make these reaction videos on your reaction videos, so that I can answer all of your questions, since I know everything about these reviews. And you do not return the favour. Listen carefully and keep your ears open. And I know that my reaction videos are twice as long as yours, but still. Would you mind turning that Battle for Bikini Bottom music down, please? Not because it's bad, but because I can't hear you. GEX isn't that popular, just to let you know. I mean, surely GEX isn't completely obscure or anything, but he's definitely not that, you know, popular. He's only not as popular as like Crash and Spyro and people like that.
There's no fourth game of it. It's pretty sad.
That is sad. I want to see GEX return, but I doubt that he's ever played a GEX game. So you can't be sad. You might hate the GEX games for all I know.
We want the fourth game because I remember I said that I remember munching. I've seen that Multiman YouTube 4.
Now what's he talking about? Seriously, I'll be back. There, I've done my little adjustments. Also, why did you upload, you know, your Doctor Who react video on this channel and not your second channel? I'm not complaining, I'm just wondering. And I would definitely love you to react to more of his YouTube poops, they're just great. He's not called Gex the Gecko, he's just called Gex. It's not like Sonic the Hedgehog or Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon, no, it's just Gex.
This is so forgotten because a lot of merchandise and also guys are not so serious from Top Shot Golf 2.
Oh yeah, he appeared in Hot Just Golf 2, or Everybody's Golf 2 as it's known outside of North America. Except in the Japanese version, which had a completely different roster, and where GEX wasn't that popular.
But Everybody's Golf 2, also known as Planet Europe. Hot Just Golf 2 is like an American movie. Really?
I guess that America thought that Everybody's Golf was a dumb name, so they dropped it, but Europe thought differently, so they kept the Everybody's Golf name. Even though in Japan, it's the literal translation is Everybody of Golf. That's how the Japanese works. Basically, you know in English where you say a word and then you shove an S at the end with an apostrophe, that's very important, and then put the next word, or you put a word, then you put another word. Well, in Japan, you practically have to shove the word of in front. Now, in other languages, you practically say the something of someone, but in Japanese, you say something of someone. No, someone or something. Just like in English we say someone something. Or the something something. Japanese people say something of something. But in the same order as English. It may sound confusing, but I'm going to give the Japanese Frozen title for an example. In Japan, it's called Anna to Yuki no Jo. In English, that translates to Anna and the Snow Queen. Or Anna and the Snow Queen. I don't care. I don't care if you have to pronounce it Anna or not. Just don't care. Now, in English, we'd say Anna and the Snow Queen, or Anna and the Queen of Snow. But in the little Japanese translation is this: Anna and Snow of Queen. So basically saying it's basically the same as saying Anna and the Snow Queen. Just without the and shoving of in between Snow and Queen.
Okay, I know. Because I said
Yeah, I'm giving you tiny Japanese lessons.
that I'm not waiting for more gets for his nostalgia bomb.
I wonder how much nostalgia he actually has with GEX, because I don't know what consoles he grew up with, but I knew he had a Game Boy Advance when he was a kid, and maybe a DS. I'm guessing he had a DS when he was a kid. But I don't know what home consoles he had. I mean, my family had a PS1 and a PS2. And a Game Boy Advance and Game Gear, but that's different, whatever.
Yeah. Let's see if we gonna watch this video.
If we gonna watch this video, first off, bad English, two, of course you're gonna watch the video.
So, yeah. So, here it goes.
Hello, this is Big Robot. Now, if you like TV and 2D platformers and get...
And I like SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, except for those really bad episodes, like the Splinter. How it's fancy. I like the SquarePants, but I thought it's okay. Super Square.
Super Square was never an episode, you know. Oh wait, I think he said Truthful Square, but that sounded like Super Square. Now for the longest time, I could barely remember Truthful Square. I remember watching it as a kid and not hating it, but I did not remember anything about it. Well, that was until I saw the Mysterious Man, or the Mysterious Mr. Enter's review on it, where I literally remember nothing except SpongeBob and Sandy's wedding. That was literally the only thing I remembered. And that was all. That was all. That's the only thing I remember from the episode. That wedding. After all those years, I did not remember any. I do not remember the overabundance of cameos. I did not remember the Krabby Patty formula being revealed. And I did remember the ventilation, but I didn't remember like the bikini bottom thingy with all those TVs. The only thing I remember was the wedding. That was practically all I remembered. Until I saw the mysterious Mr. Endless review on it.
Wait, I was stupid. The Great Snow Race, Party Poop Pants. Do you like SpongeBob? Please watch, get all 8 seasons from DVD.
First off, there are 9 seasons, and 2, I don't want to get them on DVD. And 3, I don't want to watch SpongeBob episodes. I'll either A, randomly go on TV, or B, look them up on YouTube. Now, I actually don't feel that much pain from the episodes. I mean, I don't see all of them. I know how stupid some of them are. I mean, A Powerful Gary, seriously, that I haven't seen the episode, but from what I've seen and heard, it's extremely dumb. But let's now talk about SpongeBob, because that has nothing to do with GEX.
And watch all your nostalgic fun as a kid. And play all those SpongeBob video games. Please. Please, man. Watch all 8 seasons because you haven't watched
9.
TV.
I mean, you don't know that Season 9 exists? I mean, that was a season that housed Little Yellow Book and Squid Babies, or whatever that episode was called. Which are episodes that people hate.
Because you're just a gamer. You didn't watch TV.
I did watch TV when I was younger, thank you very much. And SpongeBob was actually something I watched when I was younger. It's just that I couldn't remember everything from SpongeBob. Of course there were some episodes I remembered, such as a tiny bit of Truth or Square. And I also remembered the first episode with Sandy in it, and the prehistoric one, and that's practically it. And oh yes, and the one where SpongeBob goes flying. Yeah, and the Lost episode. I definitely remember the Lost episode. That's like the one SpongeBob episode I remember the most. The Lost episode.
But idiot.
Echoes, the GEX is probably the game for you. Maybe.
Yeah. GEX the Gecko Maniac.
I'm sorry, it's Tail time, not Gex the Gecko Maniac time.
Play the game if you want to decide that for yourself, but whatever. Anyway, GEX was a game.
And I hate correcting your grammar mistakes. I mean, I'm not your English teacher or anything, but I want you to do well in your life. And knowing your native language is very important.
Released on multiple consoles. Because I just told you that. But that's not the reason why it was released on multiple consoles. It was first released on the 3DO back in 1994 and all.
Ah, those cute unscripted moments. They may not be cute, but they're still interesting to listen to.
America and I'm guessing 1995 everywhere else, but Wikipedia doesn't mention it. So,
but I know there was a Japanese release. Because 1, there's images of it, 2, people sell the Japanese 3DO version on eBay. 3, there are videos of the Japanese 3DO version, and I'm gonna stop talking about that stuff.
I cannot check, and I'm too lazy to look it up anywhere else. And the PS1.
Wikipedia for this sorry crap. Sorry for my sorry mouth.
Remember, you're not allowed to be rude when you're making a reaction video to one of my videos.
Said all those things.
Oh.
That was just weird.
Version came out in December of 1995 in North America.
And Christmas 1995. The whole world beep bop boom beep 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 ba 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 ba.
Now I wish I did that at the right time.
Around 1996.
That's gibberish, you know.
Yeah, it is gibberish.
Everywhere else, the Sega Saturn version came out in 1996.
Because the Sega Saturn is possibly popular in Japan, but how in America?
Back in the day, it sold well in Japan, but not so much everywhere else. Which was kind of sad. Actually, it was very sad.
Almost popular, but American and Japan and America finally stopped the Sega Saturn. started and then it ended.
That was just weird. That was just so weird. That was so weird.
Where the PC version came out in 1996 in North America and 1997 in Europe. So, those are release dates. Anyway, this game received mostly positive reviews, but I still see some average reviews on this.
Well, possibly because there was like a lack of merchandise, like toys. Yeah, there was literally meant to be
Yeah, there was supposed to be toys, but they were never released because the company went out of business.
Master Ross toys, figures. We also made a Crash Bandicoot figures and Sonic the Hedgehog figures, but they never released and only shown on a toy fair.
Actually, Sonic figures were released, and so were Crash figures. Well, surely there were some cancelled ones, but they did release some of those. All GEX figures were cancelled, though.
And even though only merchandise is as books, also GEX in the game had to draw GEX in the game, and even strategy guys. Oh, Crystal Thermatics. Why are you gonna ruin Tomb Raider? You guys, you always.
I bet he's never played a single Tomb Raider game. And before he backfires, I have played some. Well, I've only really played 1, 2, and 3. And even then, I've barely played 2. But that's all I'm saying.
But push the limits to that.
Plus, people love the new Tomb Raider. So, you can't say that they completely ruined it. The most critically panned game in the series was Angel of Darkness, and that was before Crystal Dynamics took the series over.
Just poor Gecko.
Game, but I am here to tell you what I think of the game. So, that's what we're going to find out today. So, I'm going to play the game.
Or in other words, it's tail time!
Oh wait. Oh, he's gonna. He also had GEX 2 and GEX 3. Oh wait, GEX 3. Undercover Gecko, or I forgot the
Deep Cover Gecko.
real title. And GEX 2 Enter the Gecko, or Spintail in Japan.
Just let you know, in Europe it's called GEX 3D Enter the Gecko. That's a huge difference in the titles.
Because that GEX name is actually Reno. Maybe we should call it Reno, the Spintail Gecko. That's good enough. Crazy name. That's the coolest name.
No, that's a lame name. But we've all got our opinions.
Oh wait, yeah, Bugs Life. For PS1. Did you play that game?
Of course I played that game. I downloaded most of my PS1 games back in 2012 and 2013. In fact, GEX Enter the Gecko was the first PS1 game I ever downloaded on my PS3 back in early 2012. I think it was sometime in February 2012. And I live in Europe, and the European version came out on the PSN in October 2011 or November 2011. I don't remember exactly when, but all I'm saying is that it came out in Europe way before the North American version did on the PSN.
Do you play that game?
Of course I played that game! Why would I download a game and never even play it? Of course I'll try a game out if I download it. Why would I? Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't even download the game in the first place. You just make no sense sometimes.
Now, just to let you know, I'm playing the PS1 PSN version on the PS3, but I have also played the Japanese same version, and other than a few color differences and the intro and the ending in Japanese is practically the same games.
And the tutorials are in Japanese in the Japanese versions, but the Japanese intro and tutorials and ending are only really present in the Japanese version. And I'm pretty sure that all Sega Saturn versions of the game have slightly different color differences. And you have to press start on the start menu before you could go through the menus. And you have to manually turn GEX's voice on. Although that might only be in the Japanese version. And GEX still speaks in English in the Japanese version.
So, that was something I had to get out of the way. The story of the game is he loves watching TV. Then he eats a full.
Seriously, I think that every person who has, at the very least, a little bit of money has seen TV. And even if they don't have enough money to see a TV, at the very least, I'm sure that they've seen someone else watching TV, and they possibly watch TV at someone else's house. Except if you live in Africa, then there's a possibility that it's less likely that you've seen a TV before. I'm not being offensive, because I'm sure there are rich African people with TVs, but there are loads of poor homeless people in Africa as well.
It turns out that fly was connected to a...
I know it's completely irrelevant, but I'm surprised that black people didn't think that they were superior to whites and made us the slaves. But I'm not being racist. It's just that at least to me, black people do seem superior, even though I'm white, which we can all see. And I'm not being racist. I'm not saying that either of them suck. Both of them are equal, and both of the colours are just as good as each other. But I completely regret talking about this, and I hope YouTube doesn't take this video down.
Place known as the media dimension, owned by a guy named Rez. Wait, there are loads of Rezes I'm aware of. Anyway, this Rez wants GEX to be his mascot.
Just so you know, in the Japanese version, Rez still says, "You are mine," in English.
So, what does he do? Well, after GEX eats the fly thingy, Rez literally puts his hand through GEX's TV.
With the mixture of music, as well as Rez grabbing GEX, literally feels like it'll be perfect in a horror movie. And this is supposed to be a game for everyone. Well, it was rated PEGI 12 on the PSN store, but still, that's pretty dark.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Why is this? This can scare kids for piss themselves when they are like 9 or 6 years old. Why did you put this in the game, Crystal Dynamics of Sony?
Sony? It was in the 3DO version in the first place, and the 3DO version came out a year before the PS1 version. Plus, what about the Sega Saturn PC versions? Sony had nothing to do with the game's development at all. It was just that it was released on one of their systems.
How could you? Dang it, I don't want to do that. That cute old voice like you, kitty.
Completely steals GEX, and now it's up to GEX to stop Rez and to get out of the media dimension. The end. The story is very simple, but it's a 2D platformer, so I don't...
Seriously, it's like Rayman, but with the gecko. It then turned into 3D in the sequel. And also he has a Simpsons shirt. Wow, that's radically funny. Conservative. Conservative? Yeah, with Homer Simpson on it.
And I don't actually forget what it says on the bottom of the top, but whatever.
Love it.
I don't care, plus I don't care about the story anyway, so let's get on to the gameplay.
Seriously, it's Posse because in American, because it's really early in the morning, but it's 8. I'm sorry, it's 8:50. Posse will upload on like on a Monday or something.
Now, GEX is a point A to B platformer.
Quite like Stone Monkeys and Rayman and Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario Brothers.
Practically like almost every single 2D platformer ever made. That's not a Metroidvania game. I mean, there are 3 types of 3D platformers. I mean, 2D platforms. You've got point A to B platformers, which are extremely common. You've got your Metroidvanias. And you've got your mission and collect platformers. But they're not very common. But the Game Boy Color versions of GEX 2 and 3 do fall into the mission and collect 2D platformers. The Game Boy Color version of GEX 2, it's awful, don't play it. The Game Boy Color version of GEX 3, while not as bad, still is not worth playing. Seriously, don't play the Game Boy Color version of GEX 2.
Seriously, how many games only has point A to point B thing?
That is because that is how 2D platformers have been since Pac-Land. It's been so simple. It's a simple objective, and that's how. And it's just a simple thing for Point 8 for 2D platformers to do. Surely that there are Metroidvania games as well, but Point A to B is the main thing for 2D platformers. They're easy to make and easy to accomplish.
That's what I have to say. It's nothing else to say. Hey.
Plus, it's much easier to understand a Point A to B platform than it is to understand a Metroidvania game. I mean, what game do you think is simpler to learn? Super Castlevania 4, where you simply just have to get from point A to point B, collect a few items and throw them and kill enemies. Or Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you need to collect tons of upgrades, explore a huge castle, go everywhere, kill everything, and upgrade and find tons of beep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure which one's simpler. I'm not saying Symphony of the Night's bad, I'm just saying that it's more complex. And 2D... and point A to B platformers are much simpler. And that's why they're made more commonly for 2D games.
It's practically everything I need to tell you about the gameplay. It's a point A to B platformer. Okay, I'm not that mean, so I'll get into the gameplay in a bit more detail.
Get it? Because, you know, geckos have tails, and GEX's catchphrase is it's tail time. Yeah, it's a terrible joke, but whatever. It wasn't even an intentional joke. I wasn't even joking. And only now I realise it.
GEX has to, like, please drink too much beer. Because he's at the freaking TV dimension, you know? And when I was a kid...
The American TV in your gym?
Kids game, you know?
The first thing that I'd like to mention is that the button mapping isn't very good. I mean, X is jump, that's fine, but they make circle the tail whip and square the tongue lash, L1 to run. Now, since I grew up with Crash, I obviously changed the tail whip to square, and I changed the run to R2. It's a good thing that you can change the configuration of controls, because the main configuration just isn't for me.
Luckily, with the PS Vita PSN version, you can just remap your main buttons, so you don't even need to go to the options menu to change them.
The controls are perfect. GEX feels quite...
I literally made that clip much later on in the review. Or much later on into filming.
slippery when he moves around, and in order to jump on enemies, you need to hold down in the air to let GEX do this tail bounce thing, which is useful, but it would have been better if you could have just jumped on enemies normally, but it's not really something that heavily bothers me. You can attack people with your tail, but you can't eat them. I mean, GEX and Yoshi, what you really expect?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I compare GEX to Yoshi. I've never heard anyone do that before.
Yoshi? Did you say Yoshi?
Yeah, I said Yoshi, alright. Yoshi is a man! That's the cute thing about Yoshi. You can literally say that to someone and talk about a woman and not Yoshi. You can have to say, yo, she is a man, as in a woman who's right in front of you or somewhere in your proximity. Or you can say, yo, she is a man, as in talking about Yoshi the dinosaur. His name is much more complex, but I forgot what it was. But I think Yoshisaurus was somewhere in his name.
Yoshi?
Hey look, he just showed us his copy of Yoshi's New Island. I'm not interested in playing Yoshi's New Island.
Yoshi? Yoshi? Yoshi?
There's no resemblance.
Yoshi? Yoshi? Gecko? Dinosaur?
Your jokes are terrible.
Gecko?
Not even my jokes are as bad as yours.
Dinosaur?
Actually, I forgot his exact name, but he's technically more of a type of dinosaur known as the Yoshisaurus. Oh, I forgot his full dinosaur Yoshisaurus name thing. But it was in like some Nintendo book thing.
similarities?
None. Except that they stick their tongues out.
Seem to eat people, and the controls are quite slippery, but they're not too awful. They definitely work, it's just that they're a bit slippery and not perfect. That's
Dang it,
all.
Rez.
Basically, in this game, you can run around
Holy.
orbs.
Oh, that's like Sonic
Has its own unique ability.
Good thing you said Sonic, because we all know there's another person with a very similar name as him, whose name must not be mentioned.
He can climb on walls. Yeah, you heard me right. He can climb on big walls. Kinda like he's Spider-Man.
Oh gosh. Wait, you're like the Sam Raimi's trilogy, you know? How about
I haven't seen it in ages.
the Mark Webb quality?
I remember seeing the first Amazing Spider-Man, not liking it, and I did see the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in theaters, which is something I don't think I've ever done. See a superhero movie in theaters before that, and I liked it. But I do think I should watch the film again, as well as all the other Spider-Man films.
Did he like it or not? Maybe he hated it. Well, the sequel is better. But the first one's good. But the sequel is better, even though I haven't loved. Yeah, that's Jamie.
Is he talking about the original trilogy or the reboots?
Fox has Electro, which is a stupid discussion.
I guess he's talking about the second ones, or the reboots. Now, I remember not liking the first Amazing Spider-Man, and I actually didn't have as much negative thoughts on the second film, even though the second film's reaction was a lot more mixed. Now, for the first Amazing Spider-Man, I mostly see the average to above average to good reviews, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 is mostly bad from my experiences.
Even though Legit Troll is a badass villain in the Spider-Man comics, because he's a Spider-Man fan, you know, I guess.
You know.
I loved Spider-Man when I was a kid. So yeah, I was a Spider-Man fan when I was young. Yeah, I'm correcting you.
Spider Gecko.
Get it? Spider-Gecko?
Because he's a gecko.
Yeah, everyone gets it.
Ah, who the beat cares?
So apparently the old Spider-Man theme is hilarious. Okay.
Wow. Holy
Spider Gecko does whatever a gecko can. Climbs up a wall, yes he can. He's a gecko. Look out! Here comes the creepy gecko man.
Sorry.
I literally said the creepy gecko man. What? I recently saw the Unusual Suspects Amazing Spider-Man review. It's actually pretty entertaining. I love his reviews. They're so good. I remember watching his videos a very long time ago and not finding his channel again until over a year later, possibly even 2 years later, and then I fell back in love with his stuff because I literally remembered how good his stuff was, and yeah, it was interesting.
Sorry, because my voice is too high.
Okay,
Maybe I drank too much balloon. William.
you can't swing wet,
He drinks too much William. That makes no sense.
but whatever, you can still climb walls.
Yeah. Because he's a gecko. Geckos don't shoot out webs.
Geckos do not shoot out webs, and there's no web power up in this game.
That's what dynamics.
There are a grand total of 6 worlds in the game. There's the cemetery. Ooh, scary.
It's like, ooh, haunted house.
But it's not a haunted house. But there is one in the sequel. And I just came up with a joke for that video.
Then there's 2.
There's one review that I've planned a lot, even though I don't even know when I'm going to make it. I've planned it more than both my Smash Brothers reviews. And you'll know what it is once I release it. sometime in the future.
Which is very colourful and cartoony, hence the name. Then there's the jungliness of the jungle world. And I don't...
What do you think? It's a jungle out there.
Oh, it's a jungle out there. Oh, it's a jungle out there.
Man, you're hilarious.
There's no way it's being...
Sorry, sir.
Wonder how many of you know that you can use the number pad and the arrow keys to speed up the video and pause with the spacebar. I've discovered the arrow keys and the spacebar methods by pure accident. Well, the spacebar thing by pure accident. And maybe the keypad thing, but I definitely didn't know you could use the numbers to speed up, and I did not use the numbers.
I
use the keypad.
jungliness isn't a real word. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, dang it.
By the way, that was intentional. Then there's the ancient Chinese place known as Kung Fu-ville.
And you even fight Raiden from Mortal Kombat there! Multiple times!
Really creative name, by the way, guys.
Dang it.
There's
Now,
Rezopolis, the place where Rez waits for you. And last but not least is the secret world.
Metropolis? It's like Planktropolis from the SpongeBob movie, but it's Res, not Plankton.
Oh.
Topolis is a very overused word for areas owned by other people.
And this secret world...
If you made a place, would you call it MikeyAngryBirdopolis? Probably not. But whatever.
Fail.
is known as
I wouldn't call my place Big Bang Botulus or Bopulus.
Planet X, and I
Because that just sounds stupid.
did not get here on my
But MikeyAngryBirdopolis sounds perfect.
initial playthrough because, you know, it's just an extra thing.
And he's shaking up and down because he wants
And
excitement.
get here by completing all of the bonus levels. Gee, it's not like there's another game where, in order to get 100%, you need to beat all of the bonus areas. But, to be fair, GEX did come out like 5 days before Donkey Kong Country, so I'll let it pass. In
Hardware, do you copy that?
each level, GEX needs to find
What?
us. In each
Hardware, do you copy that?
What? Seriously, what?
level, GEX needs to find
It's about copying, but who? Copying? What? I can't understand your English all the time. Who taught you English? Was it the English translators of Zero Wing, or was it Magneto? I want to know.
these remotes. And it's just pointless. Why can't I just get from point A to B? But no, you have to find these remotes. And that is kind of annoying. But now I'm going to talk about something a bit more interesting. The power-ups. Now, if you whack them with your tail, you'll get 1 hit point back. Which is something. But, and this is a but, if you eat them,
Oh, does he say that whenever he's playing a game? Does he say that every time he gets hit? I want to know. I'm pretty sure. I really want to see him play a game just to see how he reacts to whenever he gets hit or dies. That would be real. I really want to know how you play games and how you commentate over them. I can be quiet sometimes, but other times I may say some things and I may talk about random things when I play games. And I mostly stay quiet, but I can talk a bit, and I may get angry sometimes, and you've never see the full experience in my videos, because, you know, I make videos and I want to commentate, and stuff like that, but you do realise I don't always commentate, because I need to, like, concentrate and stuff like that, and I don't always have stuff to talk about.
they will
Good, he said Sonic.
And Raymond from Raymond too.
give you
Oh, even Raymond 3.
special enhancements. There are the obvious ones, such as health power-ups and extra lives, but there are some more interesting ones. Also forgot to mention this whiteboard with an S on it, which basically makes you invincible. First off, there are these orange balls, which not only restore your health, but they give you an extra hit point,
Which is always helpful. But you lose them as soon as you die or leave a level.
is very helpful.
Yeah, he's swag.
There's this blue orb as well, which makes Gex jump super high. And I guess you could say that Gex is using the art of
I literally had to redo that scene quite a few times.
I'm not gonna be cheating because I'm not gonna get cheated from school because
So basically listening to me using a Cadicrus joke has to relate with you cheating in school. No, cheating in Best Big Bang Bot is nothing like cheating in school. It's the exact opposite.
because I'm really busy on making some more camping from my Halloween videos. And
Which not many people care about because no one watches any of his videos. I'm sorry to say this, you may have over 200 subscribers, but everyone, even PewDiePie, doesn't get all of their subscribers to watch every single one of their videos. I mean, when it comes to PewDiePie, only a small handful of his videos have actually got more views than his subscribers. And I do know enough to know that much. Now I'll be carrying on, and I forgot to get everything up. Stupid me. And I mean it. Stupid me. I'm so dumb. And I've come up with another idea. And I've just uploaded and I've just uploaded a blooper that was in my 45th review. That and MikeyAngryBirds has uploaded his reaction video on my Super Smash Bros. For 3DS review around the same time. Just when I'm recording this, it was like 5 minutes ago. So that's interesting, I guess. Just finding a perfect moment, and I mean it, and I apologise that this went wrong. I really do apologise, but that should be perfect. I'm just going to carry on now.
I'm busy doing school because it's on Monday to Friday. Yeah.
Everyone knows how the American schooling system works. Well, not everyone, but everyone should know that it's from Monday to Friday. I mean, even I know that. And I don't even live in America.
Thank you. Right?
And then there's this thing, which speeds you up and turns you into... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say who it turns you into. That's just evil. No, I'm not saying anything. No!
Yes,
Come on, Fraser!
How dare you be on the his name who must not be mentioned side? How dare you say it? His name must not be mentioned. And that must be the first time that I've actually sat through that without, you know, his portal gate sounds.
And now on to the more interesting powers, which I like to call the elemental powers. Now basically these powers give you elemental powers. There's the red one which lets Gex breathe fire.
It's Pyro the Dragon again!
All dragons breathe fire, you know.
Not so fireborn.
No one.
Wait a minute. Is that Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees combined? Like Crystal Dynamics has twisted imagination.
can stop me where I got hit. B. Then there's the blue one, which gives GEX some icy powers.
Ice physics.
Basically freeze enemies.
There's no ice physics in this game. There are no ice levels.
Leave with this. It's pretty interesting. And last but not least is, I need to give you solid proof that this freeze enemies. Okay, then I'll give you that solid proof. Okay, then you're not getting any solid proof. Meet you.
Actually, you're all amazing. Unless you hated the video. Because if you hated the video, and if you hate me, then beep you. Just beep off and watch Gliger 13 vids or something like that.
And last but not least are these yellow ones, which lets you electrocute everyone. Yeah,
That's so...
In an out, which I accidentally deleted, I said it execute or electrocute. That was weird.
crazy. It's a mighty gecko. The powerful gecko. The $6 million gecko.
interesting.
Yeah.
How do you know that he's a $6 million gecko? How? You don't. That's the answer. You don't. So shush.
Gecko. I think I'm strong like a ox. If you like this, like, watch part 2. Wait. You said that someone's hacking you? Maybe.
Nobody hacked me. It's just that my account wasn't verified and YouTube decided that I wasn't allowed to upload videos longer than 15 minutes anymore. So I had to upload it in 2 parts. Which sucked. And I didn't want you to wait, so I just uploaded in 2 parts. And now the full version which I intended to upload has been uploaded. So yeah. That's something.
Your family did it.
But now my account's verified, so yay!
No, not your family. Some random confusion. Alright, now we had to watch part 2 for now. Let's see, let's watch part 2.
Don't forget to like and favorite the full version.
So here it goes. Let's watch part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, then go watch it.
The level designs are pretty good. I do.
But you have seen it, but not everyone has. And now it's all in one part, which will hopefully get more views than the previous ones.
Enjoy quite a lot of the levels. My favourite world, I don't know exactly what it is, but it might either be the jungle world or the Chinese kung fu world. Both worlds are quite nice to look at and they're fun to play through. They're both very challenging and they're enjoyable. Not that the other worlds are bad, it's just that these two
Wait a minute. Those fish guys from Rayman.
worlds are
He didn't even show us the fish. Plus, they're not the fish from Rayman.
the best.
Plus, this game came first, so yeah.
In case you didn't notice, all of these levels are based on TV genres, so... The bosses in this game aren't really worth mentioning. I mean, they're not terrible, they're just not amazing either, by the way. Res is the only part in the game where the camera actually zooms out.
The camera is quite zoomed in, which is kind of annoying at times. I mean, if it was like a GBA port, I could understand, but it's not. It's a PS1 game, / Sega Saturn / Video / PC, which is just annoying. I mean, seriously, why can't you just push the camera back more? But I didn't find it a huge issue, it's just that some people will.
That's quite helpful, considering that,
But it will still lead to cheap deaths.
you know,
TV statics.
the camera is quite close in.
Damn it.
Yes. graphics in this game are pretty nice. Now, there may not be that much variety with every different level in each world. Every world still looks very different from each other.
And he comes back with the dragon again.
They're all very
Stop comparing the fire breathing to Spyro the Dragon. All dragons can breathe fire. Or they could when they were things.
distinct. The game has some very nice hand-drawn visuals, even though GEX is a pre-rendered sprite.
And I know that Gex isn't a dragon, so shush.
Country.
Actually, don't shush. Just keep posting comments, please. If you're MikeyAngryBirds, that is. If you're still awake.
2D platformers. Well, except for Gex, because he's come 2D into 3D. Because 3D means the next booster. Like engine boosters.
Your English isn't very good and you're not funny.
Like this. Woo! Yeah. Nice ducks.
Ha ha, so hilarious. I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, the game has some nice graphics.
I'm worried that I'll die from laughing.
I didn't really notice any frame rate issues, and yeah, the game's nice to look at, and yeah, that's all I have to say about the graphics. They're good for 1994. The end.
Okay. I made this that short story thing quite funny, if you know. Yeah. Kiss your gecko's tail goodbye.
I'm gonna die from laughter.
The music in the game is also pretty good. Now, surely, each level in every world has the same song except for the bosses, which each have their own individual themes, even from the main world. The music is still great, even though there's not a ton of it. I mean, it's catchy, it can be memorable, and overall it's pretty good, especially this graveyard theme. I might recommend you look on YouTube if you want to listen to it. And that's...
Wait, is there a Gex the Gecko YouTube poop video, if you know?
Nope. Games don't really get YouTube poops. Films do. And TV shows do. I mean, take a look at SpongeBob. SpongeBob is the king of YouTube poops. The most viewed YouTube poops ever are SpongeBob YouTube poops. But that's enough talk about that stuff. And also, a quick thing is that the most viewed Italian YouTube poops are Peppa Pig YouTube poops. So that's interesting. Italians really like Peppa Pig.
Do you react to them? Even though it's for adults, if you know, even though...
I don't make YouTube poop reaction videos. And I never will. Well, I'm not planning on doing it, no matter how much you want me to.
You're the 13-year-old kid? Oh wait, you're a teen. 13-year-old kid.
You're the 13-year-old kid around here. Kid.
14-year-old kid, a 14-year-old kid, a 13-year-old teenager.
The sound effects, they're quite nice to listen to. They aren't amazing by any chance, but they are quite nice to listen to, and they definitely don't make you want to turn the sound effects off. And then we come to the voice acting. This is going to be quite interesting. As you may...
Gex voice actors become swag and radical. It'll be crazy. That's how Grizzle Time is on drugs.
No.
Okay.
Just while we play the game, GEX sometimes says some random quotes. That is because
he has one-liners.
This game has voice acting. I mean, obviously the game has voice acting. GEX is voiced by a guy named Dana Gould. Well, in the sequels it was changed in Europe, but this is the first game where he voiced GEX in every version, so please shush. And
including Japanese versions.
Basically, my thoughts on him is that his voice role isn't terrible at all. I kind of like it. It's not amazing, but I never got annoyed by it.
I mean, even if you do find him annoying, at the very least, he doesn't yell every single time you jump. Unlike another character we're all aware of.
and certainly not terrible to listen to Gex talk. And even if you do find Gex annoying, you can just turn his voice off at the beginning of the game. So, yeah.
And it's automatically off in Japanese, 3DO, and Sega Saturn versions.
Well, maybe idea. You guys have tough muscles like this. Yeah. Nice tucks. Go. Guess I'm strung like a bulldozer.
Ha ha ha. I almost died from laughter.
Don't like Gex's voice, and you just want him to shut up, then just turn his voice on at the beginning of the game. It's simple as that, and he just shouts out pop culture references, and while I don't get a lot of them, this was like 1994, so I can't really expect to.
I mean, seriously, how is a random person born in Britain in 2000 supposed to get a ton of pop culture references from 1994? I do get a few, but definitely not all of them.
This is actually like 3 years before South Park used to air on TV. Even though you're just a 14-year-old kid because you have been born in the 90s, because you're just a 14-year-old kid born in the 2000s.
Yeah, I was born in 2000, even though I wish I was a kid in the 90s.
Yeah, a 14-year-old kid.
Stop protesting my age, it's just weird.
Are there any bad things about the game? Yes. First, like I mentioned before, the controls are quite slippery and may take some time to get used to. And the wall climbing can also get a bit awkward sometimes. And trust me, that does get annoying when it becomes awkward. And while I do like the level design, sometimes they can get annoying and kind of cheap at times.
And this is a reaction because I did not actually watch this before I could make this.
Basically, I don't really have much more on with this game. I mean, the inclusion of remotes and levels is completely pointless, and, well, the bosses kind of suck. But I don't really have much more wrong with this game. It's overall a pretty good game. But the game does have some screen crunching errors, which will, you know, lead you to some cheap deaths. Speaking of errors, maybe I meant issues, but there is one thing that's really annoying about the game, and that is the password system. Now this is what...
Wait, let's go back.
One thing that's really annoying about the game, and that is the password. Did you say?
Yeah, I want to know what he said. Seriously, I want to hear that again.
Well, there is one thing that's really annoying about the game, and that is the... What did you say?
I seriously had no idea what the beep he just said. I had no idea. I think he said something about a wig, but I don't know.
Password system.
And he was starting to make sense.
Now this is why it annoys me.
It's quite like Skull Monkeys all over again. That came out in 1994 while Skull Monkeys.
Tons of games have passwords. Surely they're practically dead now, but back in the 80s and 90s they were everywhere.
You said 98 and number was released on 96, but you haven't played these games. Please get these games on eBay and review these. Please, this is my most wanted games you must review.
I thought it's crashed to insanity since I reviewed Spyro 2. Oh wait, never mind. So basically his new number 1 is Skull Monkeys. I'm guessing that Crash to Insanity is number 2 and Spyro 3 might be somewhere on the list.
Basically means that your memory cards don't do beep.
Now, I did have a clip where I was talking about like the 3DS, no not 3DS, 3DO version having a save feature, but the audio did not survive. So I had to delete it.
Serious.
That's been happening a lot more in my reviews. Audio dying. It's annoying.
I know that you can save in the video version, by the way. Yeah, because video didn't have memory cards, which is a good thing.
Clear frame man can do it.
Well, the Sega Saturn and the PC didn't have memory cards, and they had a password system. And I don't see the excuse why any of the all of the versions except for the 3DO version had password systems. That's just dumb.
And so can you, GEX. And these tapes only appear once in every world, and you may get a password after the boss, but it's still not nice enough. The game should have just had a save feature. But outside the 3DO version, there was no save feature. Absolutely none. But I will mention that
I'm guessing that he's played Skull Monkeys, even though he has never proved it to me. Seriously, please make a video showing us that you've actually played Skull Monkeys and the Neverhood. Please. Oh, he probably won't, since he's probably fallen asleep by now, so he probably didn't hear me, but oh well. I'll never have solid proof.
password system has 8 characters, and it's basically half of the alphabet, roughly. Maybe it's going to be more than that, but it's not the whole alphabet, I can tell you that much.
Go to school or score and learn something?
What did you say?
I simply did not understand that.
Also, don't continue, so once you get...
Wow. Gex always did swag when he's like, yeah. Cause all of a sudden,
He sees you joking. He hates it. Now this is random since there's nothing looking at anything. I'm just gonna carry on. 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 I'm not funny, but whatever.
the most infamous episodes ever.
My singing's so dumb. I'm stupid. I'm just gonna click on the play button and stop singing.
From SpongeBob Sailor Mouth, which SpongeBob's actually learned bad words because this is like South Park. For little kids. Maybe it's aimed to the kiddies.
Wait, he's talking about SpongeBob in bad language. I don't get what he's saying.
Hey, game over, it's back to the title screen. You just gotta hope that you know the nearest password to the level you were on.
I never got game over, but I nearly did on the second boss. I could not figure out how to beat him, but when I figured out how to beat him, he was super easy.
If you don't, then you'll be, you've gotta start from the beginning.
Where the heck that noise is coming from?
That's the noise Gex makes when he gets hit.
All over the end. Also, since 2014, you can just go on the internet and just look up the level you were on, so... Yay for the internet! As for the rest of the game, it's pretty good. The graphics are nice, the music's nice, the controls, while not perfect, still work well enough. And, yeah, that's practically everything I have to say.
There we go. Gex actually said it's tail time, and that's exactly what it is. It's tail time.
Oh, this game, it is pretty difficult, I'll tell you that much, but I never...
Infamous joke ever made by Crystal Dynamic. It's tail time!
got
That's not even supposed to be a joke, by the way.
a game on during my playthrough.
I didn't consult with the creators, I just knew that.
I managed to beat it anything in around 3 hours.
Using common sense.
And if you're really good, you can actually beat the game 100% in just over an hour, but that's if you're really good. I'd rather getting 100%, I just got 80% in the Sega Saturn version.
It took me 3 hours. And that's not including when I had my dinner in between and going on the internet to look at how to beat the second boss. Seriously, the internet is a lifesaver these days.
And that was it. And the ending's not really worth it, unfortunately. And if you beat the game...
It's just a damn simple ending. It's quite like the Garfield, and it's not nice. Why? Because dynamics and
Don't worry, it's not as generic as Garfield and his 9 lives ending. Or live sisters ending, whatever.
I forgot the company who made Garfield and his 9 lives. Why did you put the triple endings, you know?
100% it's just extended with like...
Sorry, I use that Unikitty voice. Because that Unikitty voice is cool and adorable. Because I love Unikitty. He's one of my favorite characters from the Lego movie.
What did you say? How long?
By the way, this is the Doctor Who YouTube poop, The Lodger. Please react to it. Thanks, bye-bye. Oh wait, he's probably asleep by now, so he's probably not listening.
Concept art. But the game is still fun, and I definitely recommend you pick it up if you want to. It's definitely fun, I can tell you.
The PAL PS1 version isn't very cheap, but hey, I don't think the PS1 version is cheap in any regions. But you can buy it on the PSN for like, I literally forgot how much British PS3, PS1 games cost, as in the cheaper ones on PS3 or the PSN store. I think it's like $3.69, and in America it's around $6. So you can do that. Or if you like import collecting, you can buy the Japanese version, which isn't that cheap. Although you could get the Japanese Sega Saturn version, which is cheaper. Or you get the Japanese video version, which is also not on the very cheap side.
That much.
If you want a cheap Japanese game, just go looking for sports games. It's simple. Just go looking for sports games. Sports games are cheap no matter what console you buy them on or what region you buy them from. And also to mention that The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers on the PS2 is also very cheap in Japan. As in, sports game cheap. And that's pretty cheap.
And those are the climbing problems when you put in those tiny little areas where GEX just stops climbing. That is just annoying, but the game's still fun, and GEX never gets annoying. I didn't find it funny, but I definitely didn't find him super annoying, so I can tell you that much.
Alright, it ended. Alright, let's see if the Fox on this thing.
Overall, the original GEX.
And he has that Simpsons shirt. Maybe he's a Simpsons fan, you know. I am the Simpsons fan.
You're the Simpsons fan? I'm a Simpsons fan too. So you can't say you're the Simpsons fan because I'm a Simpsons fan too. And so are many people around the world. You really do overuse the word the. And thanks to you, I even overuse it sometimes. Thanks a lot, MikeyAngryBirds. Shame on you.
I'm 100% Simpsons fan. So, deal with it.
I guess he's saying that to the Simpsons haters. And those people must be pretty miserable people. Oh, this is miserable as Glider 13 vids.
It's pretty good. Now, it's not perfect. The control's slippery, the passwords are annoying, and the bosses kind of suck, and the game is pretty hard, but the game's still fun.
Maybe.
It's not...
It's like Rayman, but with a gecko. And that turned into 3D in a sequel.
Rayman 1's better than GEX 1.
But no longer...
In my opinion, and possibly many others' opinions.
And I never made a 4th game. I like in Rayman, he's absolutely... possibly he's actually in the Renegade Collection, Rayman Rabbit's franchise. They come back to the 2D platformers from Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends. For the Wii, for the PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, 3DS...
Stop naming all of the platforms these games have been released on. It's way time consuming. Especially since it's out of topic on different games.
Okay, fine.
There are quite a few extra lives in the game. The graphics are nice, the music's nice, and overall the game is pretty fun. What should I give this game with my new rating system?
Update to my new rating system. God, 10 out of 10. Jesus, 9 out of 10. Disciple, 8 out of 10. Smart human being, 7 out of 10. Above average human being, 6 out of 10. Average human being, 5 out of 10. Below average human being, 4 out of 10. Dumb human being, 3 out of 10. Glyga 13 vids, 2 out of 10. Hitler, 1 out of 10. Satan, 0 out of 10. The end.
I'll give it. I won't give it something too high, but I'll give it an average rating either. I'll give it a smart person.
Smart human being equals 7 out of 10.
Or a smart human being, meaning it's pretty good and I like it. Now, the game's not perfect.
Does he like my new rating system? Does he find it funny? I don't know.
Perfect by any means. I mean, it's got too many flaws to get something like a Jesus rating, but this game is still
Or even a disciple rating.
quite fun. And it even spawned 2 sequels, in fact.
It's Spintail. Or Reno, the Spintail Gecko. That's becoming the title. That would have been good.
No, it was called Spintail in Japan. That's it. If GEX 3 was released in Japan, I wonder if it would have been called Lick Tongue. The world will never know.
Right, count them. 1, 2. Pretend I'm holding GEX 3.
I didn't know GEX 4 because Crystal Time is too busy making Tomb Raider.
They didn't start making Tomb Raider games until like 2006, I think. Or was it 2007? I don't know. But all I can say is that the GEX games were made back in the late 90s, and they didn't take over Tomb Raider until the late 2000s, as in the 2000s.
Then it actually ruined the franchise because Tomb Raider always get burned to flames by Crystal Dynamic. Time used Crystal Dynamic to ruin Tomb Raider, and
I doubt he's ever played a single Tomb Raider game, and if you have, give me solid proof.
forget Gex the Gecko or Reno the Spintail Gecko.
Please stop with that Reno the Spintail Gecko thing.
Oh, you're not pretending I hate you all. It's so mean. But anyway, that was my review on GEX 1. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Big Bang Bot signing out, and I wonder how many of you actually like geckos. Maybe you could put them onto your TV. And then you can call them GEX if you want. It's just an idea. But anyway, goodbye!
I don't remember seeing that Best Big 119.
As for my next review, all I'm going to say is that it's going to be quite smashing. That was awful, but whatever.
He is getting ideas. Smashing plus one of the most hyped franchises ever. And then they kiss. He's thinking something very
Suspicious.
Yep, he's smart enough to figure out something suspicious. He definitely finds that suspicious. And I did it on the same thing that I did this on. That was dumb, but whatever.
Wait, don't you mean Super Smash Bros. 4 for the 3DS?
No, I mean Super Smash Bros. 1.
Oh my god, my dream has come true! Because that the Wii U version is yet to come out this fall! I can't wait to play that game!
But if you want to play that game, and if you want to get it by launch, which I'm planning on doing, then you better start saving up your money.
I played Brawl, but yeah, that's a long time. I think I felt old. Okay, that's some SpongeBob music.
Oh, come on, he's typing it in and he didn't even jump cut. Surely that's been happening with me, but still. Just ignore the SpongeBob music. Forget about it.
So amazing, even though this new gaming, so amazing. Dang it. Okay, so yeah, this game, even though this review is so amazing, even though this new...
He thinks my new review is amazing. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I'm just saying that I don't think it's my best review. he thinks that my Spyro 2 review is the best. From my knowledge, he might have changed his mind with my review on Super Smash Bros. For 3DS because despite missing out a couple of details, I was pretty proud of the final result. But I don't know what his opinions think. That was weird.
Overall, it's a good review.
Quiet the music down.
You know, my favorite moment has been Spider-Man. And his next review is Global Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS.
N64.
My dream has come true, because
He wanted me to review it, and I was planning on reviewing it for a very long time.
he's gonna review all 3 Smash. He's going to review Super Smash Brothers Melee, but he will review Super Smash Brothers 1 and then Super Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U.
Actually, this is how it will go. I will review Super Smash Bros. 1 on the day that I release. The day that the 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS releases. But unfortunately, due to YouTube being mean to me, I had to delay it until the 5th. Even though it was supposed to come out on the 3rd. But I did get the game on launch day, as in 3DS 1. Then, shortly after that, I uploaded my review on the 3DS version. And this is what will happen in the future. When the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. Comes out, I will review Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And hopefully it'll be uploaded on the day that, you know, the day the game comes out. I'm hoping I can do that. And then I will review the Wii U version. And while I'm super excited for it, I don't know I still don't think it'll be better than Brawl because there won't be an adventure mode and there might still be less content than Brawl and I'm scared. I just hope that there's still a ton of content and even more content in the Wii U version. But Smash Run won't be in the Wii U version. I'm hoping that Nintendo's going to do something special with Smash Bros. For Wii U. I really hope they do something special. Otherwise, it will just be the 3DS version, but HD. Yes, I know I'll enjoy it. I'm super excited for it, but I seriously hope that they do a lot with it. And yes, I will be glued to it for a while, but still, I just hope that there's tons of game modes, because that's what disappointed me in Super Smash Bros. 3DS, the lack of game modes. The more I thought about it, the more I realised, oh yeah, that's gone.
It's coming true, because I got the demo for the 3DS, if you know. Let's see.
Do you want to turn your SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom music off? Time wasting.
I got the demo, you know.
It turns out he's only played it one time. Since I know for a fact that the demo has a use of like 30 and not that number. I think that says 28. He's only played it twice. As of that day. Now I played it a lot more than that. And I mean a lot more. I played the demo a lot more than like twice. And I got the demo as soon as I could.
I got the demo, you know. Let's play,
By any chance are you a Nerf fan like my friend James making 447 or Gaming Deluxe, as he's now known on YouTube? He has a lot of Nerf guns.
yeah. I just played Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. Because I'm so excited for that game for the 3DS. And I'll actually release Japan like Saturday, September 13th. Which is pretty good. Japan got it earlier.
How is that good? I think that's terrible. Why do I think that's terrible? Now, surely it's expected it was developed in Japan, and obviously it'll come out in Japan first. Well, it's not always obvious, but it came out in Japan first, which is kind of expected for a game released in Japan, a game made in Japan. But that just makes the rest of the world jealous, especially since that the 3DS is region locked. But that's enough of ranting. But that was a tiny rant. Seriously, I think the reason why Nintendo region locks their consoles is because different countries have different reviewing systems. But seriously, Nintendo, there's no point. I mean, piracy protection, that's completely understandable. But region locking, that's the dumbest thing ever. Just make the console free for the entire world. What if you go on holiday and you find a game on the 3DS that looks really good and you can't buy it, and then you find out that it was only released in Japan, and that just makes you really angry, and that might even make you want to buy a Japanese, and if you want to play, you'll have to actually buy a Japanese 3DS, and then you can buy the game. And seriously, region locking is the dumbest thing ever, and it deserves to die. At least no one else does it these days.
What did you say?
I did not hear you.
I'd like to see for your subscribers for the 3DS, yeah.
Even though I reviewed the N64 version first. And what I'm saying about my special 3DS review, in case you haven't seen it, is that I used a lot of "how could this happen to me" jokes.
This is my answer. Check it out. Now I should play Super Smash Bros. 3DS. Come on. Why is it blank?
Maybe your 3DS doesn't like you anymore because you play too much. I don't know. Something on it. I mean, I used to be glued to Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition on my 3DS. I used to play that all the time on 3DS, but Super Smash Bros. 3DS might take that new title. Not a ton, but it will become my most frequently played 3DS version of modern days. That will obviously be until the Wii U version comes out. Then the 3DS version will be restricted to leaving the house.
Bye.
Now that was his GEX reaction video, and I'm not really gonna say anything. Well, of course I'm gonna say something. Why wouldn't I say something? It was the typical reaction video from him. It was difficult. It was, and it wasn't bad, but it was just a typical reaction video. That's all I have to say. Again, problems. His jokes are awful. There's tons of bad English, and I did notice him saying a few dirty words in it. But other than that, it was still okay. I won't like it or favourite it, but it was still okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Now I have to upload this to YouTube, and then I need to charge my camera, and then I need to watch some cooler YouTube videos, which I'll actually like, and then I'll react to Super Smash Bros. Video another time, but very quickly, and that's for both of them. Anyway, goodbye!